Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I did make a video, but for some reason it didn't have sound, so here we go. The title of this video is Your So-Called Ops. And if you break down the title of the video, we can define a few things like your so-called. So, in terms of perception, beings on the earthly realm would very much consider themselves to be walking on a planet only, and they would assume that the things that they encounter are spiritual attacks, things that are not going their way, and I'm just not understanding why anyone in the spiritual community considers oppositions as something to go against. So, in my opinion, we all create our own opposition. Now, I live completely outside this construct. I know I'm not walking on a planet. I know I'm consciousness. I'm not walking on anybody's planet. I've never created an op in my life. And you have to speak very carefully to avoid creating ops. And in my opinion, ops exist in very specific places. There's a lot of opposition going on now in terms of division in any place that you might consider like the United States or anywhere. And in my previous video, if you watched it, I went over multiple levels of consciousness. Now, in order to understand consciousness, you have to understand where you are as an individual. And my channel is not for level one. Level one should be focused on cleanliness, going about their routines, trying to create as many spontaneous moments as they possibly can muster, and that's about it. Now, level 2, 3, 4 are very much in the belief system that this is a planet and they were born here, they have one life, that's it. Whatever is given to them, whatever their parents did, whatever everybody else is doing, is what they're doing. And in order to break apart from that, you have to know that this is not a planet. You cannot exit this planet with your fleshly body. And if you claim you can, I would like to know what astronaut you personally talked to. And this isn't to be a conspiracy theory channel. This is mainly to tell you what I know. And if you ask enough questions, if you sit with enough things, then you'll realize that the spiritual community has created themselves to be in direct opposition to this planet's timeline. Now, spiritual channels or spiritual teachers did not really make a huge forthcoming, I would say, up until 2019. Before that, there were some like beginning channels where, like, what's the word? I'm trying to get it somewhere in my consciousness. Just to where things started. And there's a few channels, and I'm not gonna name drop, that are still kind of around. And I don't really want to make this about spiritual channels. I really want to talk about anyone who isn't from the earth constructs. So anyone who hasn't been here a lot of times, anyone who knows for a fact that, hey, I have life on other places, and I don't really believe that I'm from here, or it's really for people that know, but even if you simply believe it, it's fine. Your so-called ops are creating an energy field that is in direct opposition to your energy field. You guys are on two different paths. So you're here, and wherever they are, it's evolving. Maybe it's not progressing, but you know that you are a clear evolution even just on this planet. I mean, where you were born, where you went to school, there's decisions you didn't make that were like other people, how you get your money, just whatever you're doing is clearly different from the majority. Clearly different. How you dress, how you speak, how you walk, how you talk, what you're interested in talking about, what you're not interested in talking about. You don't want to go to football games, you don't want to talk politics. All these things are you get what I'm saying? You're in direct opposition to whatever the majority is doing. So if you look at the majority, they are very clearly into politics, religion, sports, jobs, vacations. They're very much interested in these things. Now, before, they didn't have all of these things, so they have had some small evolution in the past few hundred years. But if you go to America before it was colonized, then you would see some very primitive behaviors. And I mention this because these people here clearly are not here. So if everyone has been primitive to where they are now, then clearly these people must have had something to do with it. I'm not saying that people gave them sports, but I am saying that the spark of creativity comes from outside of this construct. The idea of, hey, let's get the food secure. Hey, let's be able to go over here. Hey, let's be able to go over there. Hey, let's be able to make sure our kids live past this age. These progressions do not come from people who watch football their whole life. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and it's not for me to talk about anybody. I'm simply here to say that I would prefer if the spiritual community realized that they were in direct opposition with these people because they're on a specific timeline, a specific trajectory, and you will not change this. So instead of saying, I'm receiving spiritual attacks and I am going to, I don't want to come up with examples of what people are allegedly doing. I want to give them privacy. But I really am mostly bothered that we have not built something physically with our group here. These people clearly are trying. But we say they need to change. We need the new earth coming in. We need to raise our vibration. We need to raise the collective consciousness. We need to do all these things for these people. But these people are unprepared because these people are about to crash out. It's collapsing. So these people haven't really done anything that's going to keep us safe. And I'm not really here to dote on anybody or bring them into like some judgment. I'm simply saying that you don't have ops. I'm sorry, you don't have ops. You do not. You're creating opposition. You were 12 and 6 years old once, 7 years old once. I have to drop some numbers. You didn't have any ops. And the reason why I wear sunglasses because I really don't want anybody trying to contact my soul at all. So you didn't have any of this. You were so carefree, spontaneous. You could have done anything. And now we've chosen to talk about we need to bring in a new earth. We need to change these people. We need to bring in something new for these people. I tried to do this consciously and come up with a really good idea to give these people as a next world. And in hindsight, I was tripping. It was a mix, it was a mashup of things. It was like multiple kingdoms, and they were all gonna have a space where they could either cast people out and they would still be able to go eat and live and everything for free, and they would have to evolve disgruntledly because we know there's disgruntled people, but they would be out here in the wilderness. And these people that actually wanted to build something, wanted to like have something really nice, would be able to have that comfort. And it sounds like a good idea. It sounds like it's still possible. But I realized that there's so much turmoil here and there's direct opposition being created here that in order for us to, and I don't really want to go like too deep here, but in order for us to create something for ourselves and just leave this alone, because I really don't want to touch this. My meditation, this is somebody who's as involved as I am in the spiritual realm to tackle this problem. It's not really for the spiritual community to hear because they're tired. So I really would prefer the spiritual community really didn't make any more videos, didn't make any more channels, didn't try to turn out these channelings and try to turn out the OBEs, didn't try to turn out these things to try to wake people up to the other side. I would prefer if none of that happened. And you might say, well, I've never heard anybody say this. Where is this coming from? As source consciousness, it's my opinion, that it is a bad waste of time. A bad waste of time. And the original intent was to help this planet evolve into the next dimension. What we have decided is to do something entirely different. Coming here. Staying in the same spot year after year. We could all boost ourselves up to say, hey, I have 50,000 subscribers. I have 100,000 subscribers. Let me try to see if they would like to get together. Maybe someone here builds something. Maybe someone here has great ideas. Maybe someone here has a coconut business. All types of good things come from having a community. But Jada's witnessed is being led into a following and leadership mentality. Now, this is the definition of slavery. And it is not good to hoard people towards a destination you do not know for sure exists. Trying to create something from voice in this construct alone does not succeed. Many are trying, many are failing. The best solution that was given was to come, find your tribe, and build. This is not being observed. So the quote of your Opps, spiritual attacks, society, cryptocurrency, all of these, we did not come here to change the timeline. The timeline exists. It's someone who's very much on their journey described it as a deck of cards that you would kind of drop, and they're all happening at once. So time is not something to go and fix. It works. It exposes anyone who is high, knows what will come into fruition and asks for help when their third density, source consciousness, part of themselves, needs guidance. This does not feel good. I would like to feel better. Jada stays calm, grounds her energy, but is in direct opposition against these people. You guys are going the wrong way. We're going the wrong way. We got to let them be. If we're not going to create anything, why are we expecting them? Who's creating something? The downloads, maybe I can try to preach back on the downloads. Or I don't want this to sound like you don't know who's speaking. But then this is not a channeling channel. It's just that we're all here. And if you know religion, if you know the text, you know that God is omnipresent. And so truth, lies, all spoken out through people. And they'll come into your life in contact, and they will speak through you. Now, the term opposition means that you are 1 to 50. Now, if you would like to go to war with this, and claim that you have something else, because in the 80s it was a different message. In the 2000s, up leading up to 2011, it was a different message, and now it's a completely different, something else. So there should be some truth that comes out about what are we actually here to conquer, because spiritual community speaks in different ways that are going all out, and it's confusing. It's quite annoying me personally. It's quite annoying me personally, because I know you guys are smart, and I know you guys are evolved, and I know you got something better to say than 3D to 5D split. I know we can do better than this. I hope we can do better than this. It would be better to say nothing than to create opposition than to repeat yourself, and repeat yourself. We have the frequency channels, leave it. We have the meditation, we have yoga studios, leave it. We have organic, whole foods, PCC, we have it. We have veganism, we have it. Leave them alone. It's not a warning or a message or anything, but leave them alone. The channels are ramping up. I'm working on getting rid of some of these channels. Leave them alone. The first video I made, it didn't have any sound. I usually take that as a sign that I probably shouldn't be, but I love way too hard, and I've observed and I've overlooked from way too high, and I think it would behoove me to at least say a few things before I exit this construct. So I hope that everybody understands how serious I am when I say you need to stop creating ops. Creating ops. You are in direct opposition. Direct opposition. And it's not a demon, it's not a crazy, it's not. Everything is energy, frequency, vibration. And I really don't want to see us go out like this. So I don't think there's any opposition. This is just something that was heavy. Like is there a list of 5 things I really observed heavily? Then opposition. the nar, I don't want to say the word. And then I'll probably make a few more videos, but I really don't want to make this like a recurring thing. I hate money. I hate money. I can say that. I do not like money. I do not like the education system. I don't like the politics. I am not sure if you guys are spiritual, if you guys meditate, if you guys have spiritual revelations that do not come from anywhere else but when you go to bed at night and you see the way things are going to fold out. But if you do not, maybe if anybody ever comes on this channel and writes in the comment section, then I might share. But I always feel like they're very private to my universe and where I'm from, and my husband. I think it's very private what I see and what I know. And yeah, like the reveals, yeah. But it does not look good. And the main thing I see is that these 2 splits that everybody says we're not going to look back at, I think they can't split, and they haven't split already, because the people that are here that have the biggest energy won't be quiet and let it happen. If we would like to split away from them, we can't do it if we're in opposition. We're still giving energy. We can't be giving energy to Decepticons. That creator knows what I'm talking about, but we can't give it. We need to focus on ourselves. That sounds so cliche. I didn't want to make this a long video, so I am going to wrap this up. And Go look at my previous video. This video makes so much more sense if you hear me speak very eloquently about level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the rest of them. Then this will make a lot more sense why you shouldn't create any more ops. Like the example I give is I'm going into the supermarket and I immediately think in my head, I'm going to steal everything. The people in that supermarket believe that you shouldn't steal. I'm not saying it's everyone, but they believe that you shouldn't steal. So I'm immediately going to start getting, hearing, or knowing. I'm going to start feeling weird. And you can try this if you want and see if it works. See if you're that open. And it's because they have a belief. And my new belief, exactly what I believe now, goes is in direct opposition to what they believe. Someone might come up to me, someone might follow me around that store. I'm not saying this is real. I'm saying that it's a real feeling, it's a real knowing. I hear the knowing. So like knowing isn't thoughts, but I hear it. You can do it with anything. And I'm saying that when you open your mouth and you start talking about these people and their timeline and the predictions and all this stuff, it's like trying to hold a bull. Like, I'm really trying to help you understand. It's trying to hold a bull. Why are you doing that? Why are you talking about it? Oh, we're going to give predictions and forecasts. Are you the Weather Channel? I've heard predictions, and I'm like, that's not what's going on here at all. If you can predict the next year, then you should basically have fixed what's going on in elementary schools right now and how the kids are and how if you would have to go see it to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to talk about it. My mom's a teacher and I've taught before. Um, and people in my family are teachers and people in my family have foster home agencies and foster kids and stuff like that. Like you would have to go see what I'm talking about. It's not anything to do with the intelligence. It's something else. And so, if you're not going to talk realistically about what's going on here, who you're talking about, then you clearly don't know you're making ops. You're just calling it a spiritual attack. And I'm here to tell you it's not a spiritual attack. And that they didn't bring black people over here on sailboats from Africa as slaves. Well, if you read books and if you go places, you'll see. I bet you can't go to the middle of Africa right now unless you get a bunch of shots. I just bet you can't do it. You go, go. Don't go Google nothing, because that means you're not spiritual and you don't know anything. I'm really trying to help you guys. I really think there's a few people who have come and called BS on a lot of things, and I think it's only because they have been in the other worlds. My advice is to stop listening to advice or anything. And if you can't meditate and go see what it looks like, see what God created, you are going to keep talking about cryptocurrency, Fed rates hiking. Wherever they go, you're going to go with them. And I would hate to see that because evolution isn't positive or it's not. Change is an uncomfortable process. They have been removed from this planet before, and I would hate to see you guys follow them. Talking about the Rams or the Chargers, I would hate it. I hate to see it. I hate to see it. And I don't want to ramble on anymore. Everybody wants me to keep talking. I, we're smarter than this. I know we are. I know we're smarter than 3D to 5D split videos. I think we are. I think we are. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think we're smarter than just talking about what consciousness is over and over and over and over and over. I hope we are smarter than this. I'm clearly smarter than this. My name isn't Jada. If you don't know your name, I suggest you go really try to figure that out. I know I wasn't born. Consciousness is born. Okay. I know a lot of things. And I really don't want to see you guys go out this way. I don't have no kids. My husband is not around to say hello in this video, but that's okay. And if you guys want to go until the wheels fall off, okay. But I suggest you don't go with them. So, your so-called ops. Okay. Okay now. Well, that's all I have. I'll wrap up this video. And if you see me again, uh-oh. Uh-oh.